Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
This is the one that says this may be triggering. So everybody hold on. I'm a father to a lovely 17-year-old daughter. She was diagnosed with level 2 autism, mid-functioning. She is nonverbal and uses her phone's text-to-speech. She's a junior in high school this year, and she functions at a 7th grade level. Her teacher, who I will call Mr. Smith, started working at her school last year during her sophomore year. I was concerned about the mention of him in every sentence being typed on her phone. Recently, I found out that Mr. Smith has been giving my daughter 11th grade work simply because he believes that she's in 11th grade, she can do it. He's been restraining her, strapping her to the seat, and sometimes tying her arms and strapping them to her lap so that she can't flap them around or jump, since she does a lot of that. Mr. Smith threatened to call her wrestling coach and basketball coach to take her out of her sports because she could be a distraction to the rest of the team, and she can't be jumping and flapping her arms in the middle of a wrestling match or doing that in a basketball game, so she needs to not be in sports. And he also said because she is in wrestling, she is very strong and has a risk of hurting herself or others. He says she's 17 and she's tall. I mean, she's 5'10". It's not like she's 5, and I can pry her off of me with ease. I kind of have to fight her. This is what the teacher is saying. And then proceeds to go off on me, saying he's doing nothing wrong by restraining her and giving her grade level work rather than the work at her cognitive level, neither of which are allowed in her IEP. And Dad says, this makes my blood boil. Well, Dad, I think we're all right there with you.
Yeah.
Dr. Granpeesheh, you know what Ileana Van Sant says? Heal us. Heal. Because this, I have things, but I know you want to say things.
I'm baffled that kind of thing could continue to happen in this day and age. Like, I do remember, probably in the 90s, I want to say, where I knew a speech therapist who actually used to do that and strap the kids down in order to learn. And it's illegal. Let me just start right there. And you should never allow that. And it is, report this teacher immediately. The fact that if the school is aware of this, you can sue the school. And you should. And this is in so many ways inappropriate. I don't even know where to start. But that is not how we treat our kids. That is not how we educate our kids. It makes my blood boil too, just hearing this story. And none of this is okay. And let's just start with getting rid of this teacher and deal with, maybe remove her from the school, because the school definitely is in the wrong as well if they're aware of this and nobody's doing anything about it. I'm blown away. Which state are you in? Like, how does that even happen in this day and age? It's so abusive. That is abuse. Like, let's just be very clear. And it's not okay by any means whatsoever. Even a child who is aggressive and assaultive, nobody has the right to tie them down. So that's just is crazy to me.
Yeah. But I would say, my first question is, what state are you in? Because there are some states that have different restraint laws. But my second thing would be to say to this parent, you need to get out your child's IEP and see on the front page, there's a place where it says BIP attached. See if that is checked. That means that there's a behavior intervention plan for when your daughter is off task or whatever. And that you just want to know where you stand. And if there is a BIP for when your daughter is having a hard time, that box is checked. It's part of the document. it's legally enforceable. Either way, they're in violation of the IEP because he says he's giving her 11th grade work because she can do it, and he's not doing what the IEP says. So and those are the words you got to use. You got to say you're in violation of my IEP. Those are the serious words, and the school will listen to you when you say that. But I think Dr. Granpeesheh is right. When Bonnie Yates is on the show, she always gives a website, COPAA.org. That's the Council of Parent Attorneys and Advocates. Mm-hmm. And you can you can go put your zip code in and they'll tell you who is in your area. And, we can't give a recommendation for anyone and everyone on that site, but in general, those are people who know it and get it because they've been there before you as parents. And they tend to be really on the money and know what's going on with your district. But I would certainly be talking to someone, but I wouldn't send her back to that school. I would notify them that it's unsafe, that they're in violation of the IEP, and that you're not sending her back until they have an emergency IEP. And because this person is probably doing this to other students too. I've been a teacher in the system, and until people say he's doing this, sometimes a bad principal doesn't know.
Yeah.
A good principal would know, but a bad principal won't. And you need to be aware of that. If they aren't aware that he's doing this, somebody is not minding the shop.
Yeah, and Shannon, what the parent wrote here is that it's not even like the child is doing anything aggressive. The child is hand flapping, which is a self-stimulatory behavior, and to tie the child's hands down in order to prevent them from hand flapping is ridiculous. There's no, just. You gotta get these people, as Sarah says, you gotta take some legal action. I would really go in with the help of a parent advocate or attorney. I would not deal with the school on my own at this point. It's just egregious. There's no other word for it.
Absolutely. Just absolutely makes me crazy. Someone else has to have seen this also. It's not like he's alone with the child, but often it's hard to get other students. If he's doing this, sometimes because it's that authority role, if he's doing this, listen, I've had aides on the show who said that they left being an aide in the classroom because they saw an abusive teacher, and when they complained, they suddenly didn't get their health benefits and stuff. Unfortunately, we'd all like to believe that everyone who's a court reporter will report, but people get afraid. So we still have to be our best advocates for our kids, right?
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.